The year was 1922. A veil of mist clung to the Bavarian countryside. Nestled amidst the rolling hills and whispering woods lay Hinterkaifeck, a small farmstead as unremarkable as its name. Here lived the Gruber family, Andreas, the patriarch, a man of the land with calloused hands and a weathered face, his wife Cecilia, a woman hardened by years of toil, their widowed daughter, Victoria Gabriel, and her two young children, Cecilia and Joseph. Completing the household was a young maid, Maria Baumgartner. Life at Hinterkaifeck was simple, governed by the rhythms of nature and the toil of farm work. Yet beneath the veneer of normalcy, a creeping unease had begun to settle over the farmstead. Andreas confided in neighbors about strange occurrences, footprints in the snow, leading to the farm but not away, the sound of footsteps in the attic though it stood empty. A set of house keys vanished, never to be found. Something was amiss at Hinterkaifeck, something dark and inexplicable. Days turned into weeks, the strange occurrences escalating. Andreas found an unfamiliar newspaper on the farm, one he hadn't purchased. Tools were misplaced, then reappeared. Whispers seemed to emanate from the woodshed, though no one was there. Fear, palpable and growing, gripped the inhabitants of Hinterkaifeck. One evening the maid, Maria, swore she heard voices whispering her name from the darkness outside her window. She confided in the family, her voice trembling with terror. But the Grubers, hardened by a life lived on the edge of civilization, dismissed her fears. They attributed the strange events to the tricks of the wind, the imaginations of children, anything but the truth lurking just beyond their perception. The nightmare that had haunted Hinterkaifeck for weeks culminated in a night of unimaginable horror. Days passed with no sign of life from the farmstead. Concerned neighbors, their worries finally overriding their rural reserve, approached the house. The door, they found, was unlocked. Inside, a scene of unspeakable savagery awaited them. Andreas, Cecilia, Victoria, and little Cecilia lay brutally murdered in the barn, their bodies mangled beyond recognition by blows from a mattock, a farm tool. Upstairs in their beds lay little Joseph and the maid, Maria, their lives extinguished with the same brutal efficiency. The killer, it seemed, had lingered after the murders. The animals had been fed, the fire stoked. Someone had slept in the farmhouse, eaten their food, moved amongst the bodies of their victims, a chilling testament to their depravity. News of the Hinterkaifeck massacre sent shockwaves through Bavaria and beyond. Investigators, confronted with a crime scene as baffling as it was brutal, grappled for answers. Who could have committed such a heinous act, and why? Theories abounded, each more unsettling than the last. Some whispered of a family feud, a dispute over land or inheritance turned deadly. Others pointed to a vengeful neighbor, driven to madness by some perceived slight. A particularly unsettling theory posited a stranger, perhaps a drifter or a vagrant seeking shelter in the attic, who had snapped under the weight of his own madness. And then, there were the whispers, the ones spoken with a shudder and a glance over the shoulder of something altogether more sinister. The house, they said, was cursed, a conduit for dark forces. The murders, they claimed, were not the work of man, but of something far older, far more malevolent. The Hinterkaifeck murders remain unsolved to this day, a chilling testament to the darkness that can lurk in the human heart, or perhaps, in the shadows themselves. The farm stands abandoned, a silent sentinel in the Bavarian countryside, a stark reminder of the night terror visited Hinterkaifeck, and the mystery that continues to haunt the world.